Yeah.
I'm ready when you're ready. Good. Last year for you, individually speaking, rough start. You seemed to kind of find your groove later in the year. How important was it that they stuck with you, gave you opportunities, made the position change, and how did that all work out for you?
I feel like that was the right thing to do. On the coaching standpoint, as far as to help the team, excel. It's a big thing for me. Just keeping my mental on, keeping me straight, grounded. Making that position change. I felt it was the best position change for me to, go ahead and attack in the first place. So, I was all with it. I was 10 toes with it. I found my groove, and I'm excited for the new opportunity coming out this fall.
Coach Norvell always talks about tough conversations after seasons end. After a 2-10 season, what was that conversation with you like? What do you recall from it?
You talking about like just individually?
Like the exit interview you had with Coach at the end of last season.
I wouldn't say it was tough. He just, he had me in the right headspace. Just like I said, moving forward, being a leader on the team, we just want to make sure I was okay. Just keep pushing the guys forward, to make sure we're in the right headspace and, we're attacking the days properly and just going up about our business, on the right track. So it wasn't no tough conversation, even though we did, have an unfortunate season last year, but everything was smooth and, we were ready to, take on a new opportunity.
What is your role, your task in a Tony White defense individually, your position?
Just being the best version of myself for the team. It just allows to put us in a right position. As far as defense, just being the team player, and just attacking the offense from different directions, whether that's on the post, blitzing off the edge, playing in that intermediate level, or just doing what I can do, to help the team excel.
Does it allow you to be physical?
Definitely allows me to showcase my physicality.
I presume you enjoy that since that's certainly a strong point of your game these days.
Most definitely. Yeah.
What has it been like getting to know Tony and Coach Cooper and others that are new to that team as a group, and just getting a feel for what they do ask of you guys on that side of the ball now? Because obviously it's dramatically different from what you were doing a season ago.
It's definitely a fun opportunity. Just taking on those different challenges. With those different coaches, new coaches we have rolling in. We're just excited for the opportunity. They bring a lot of juice to the defense. And the team as well. They get guys rolling early. And I like how they're attacking our points and just excelling our game as far as the secondary and defensive wise.
When you guys hit the field next Wednesday for your first practice, what is it that you hope the team comes out trying to accomplish from the get-go?
Say it again?
What is it that you want to see the team kind of come out and attack and try to accomplish day one of preseason practice?
Just getting better, getting 1% better every day, just bringing that energy, you know what I'm saying? We definitely going to bring that energy this year. And I want to see that from day one, I'm going to challenge my guys, bring that intensity and that mental toughness, every day to practice so we can get better every day. So that's the main point.
Does game one mean anything extra to you because of your prior ties to that program?
No, I don't find there's anything extra, but it's definitely gonna be fun, for the guys. I'm excited for the new challenge, opportunity.
Having an opponent of that magnitude to open up the season at home, does that do anything for preseason camp? Does that change the approach to preseason camp? Even if not meant to, does it still happen because it's Alabama?
Now we look at it as any other game, you know what I'm saying? I feel like a game is just practice with spectators, surrounding. So we're going to approach it the same as any other week. We just going to have to do what we have to do. Go play football. Ain't nothing to it.
As far as defensive personnel, any guys from the spring or even off-season workouts that really jumped out at you as taking the next step?
Tomorrow.
On the defensive side of the ball,
it's been a few guys. I'm not going to call anybody out because, I feel like we're all going to be up there, as a collective. But it's definitely a few guys that stood out to me. So, and keep pushing those guys to excel.
Yeah, just coming from kind of a legendary football background, like what does your dad kind of instill in you to kind of give you the mindset to play TV?
Just stay grounded. Always have like the next play mentality. That's what I was grounded on. So just attacking that next play and don't dwell on the past. Whatever happened, earlier in the game, don't let that affect you. Your next play. The next play can possibly dictate the game. So I'm saying, just having that next play mentality, that's something he really harped on. That's something I'm taking in my game.
With he mentioned the transition to Tony White and new safeties coach, Coach Cooper. Has that adjustment? What's that adjustment been like from just learning what their style is, having a new system, all those things?
Like I said, when new guys came in, new coaches came in, we just took it as another opportunity to get better, learn the defense. I'm saying they came in the spring. You know, we're upstairs with those guys probably every day. You know what I'm saying? Just, learning the defense, just building those relationships. So it was smooth selling when those guys came in, and, we all gelled together. It was a great thing, yeah.
What's grabbed your attention about the way Tony White coaches defense?
His attitude. You know what I'm saying? I love the way, he brings his attitude, in a good way. You know what I'm saying? He's aggressive dude, he's a tenacious dude. He wants to get out the opposing offense. He brings that, from the start of the meeting to the end of the meeting, to the start of practice to the end of practice. So, I feel like that's something that's outspoken about him, and I feel like that's going to bring a lot of energy to the defense and the team as well.
How would you describe this defense? Maybe, is there a single word that comes to mind that describes what Tony White defense is trying to accomplish?
It's physical and effort. We're going to play with effort. We're going to play with the physicality. And we're going to show that. I can't wait to put that on display for y'all guys this fall.
Forcing turnovers obviously was an issue a season ago for this football team. Right. How has he come in and tried to address that? How have you guys as players, especially returning players like yourself, tried to address that internally?
I'm just attacking that point you just said, creating turnovers. That's one of our focal points. I try to enforce, on our guys on the defensive side, every day for practice. We're just getting that ball out, taking shots on the ball. Because, when that happens, we give the ball back to you see we got on offense. We get the ball back to those guys. We know what they're capable of, and the game can, excel that way.
How are you attacking this season? Are you humble to be healthy and ready to play football again? Or are you coming after?
I'm ready for opportunity. Face different challenges with my guys. I'm approaching it like any other offseason. You know what I'm saying? Just staying ground, staying humble, and just doing what I have to do to help the team win.
Coach White said that you were him 2 different times. Feels like he believes in you. What does that do for you when a guy believes in you?
It definitely boosts my confidence. And with that being said, I'm just staying grounded, trying to bring my other guys up around me as well. I'm not too focused on myself, because I'm not the only one out there playing. So I'm definitely trying to bring the other guys up around me, with that being said. So it definitely boosts my confidence, yeah.
Who in the safety room or the defensive back room have you tried to work the most with in the sense of, hey man, it's time for you to take a step and you're ready for it to do it?
To be honest with you, I'm like that with everybody. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm like that with all my guys because at any given moment in the game, anybody can go in. So I treat everybody the same way.
How's Jeremiah done at kind of getting himself into that room and getting comfortable with you guys, and you guys getting comfortable with him since his late arrival?
He's definitely taking a few steps, major steps. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure if you guys interviewed him, but he's a real energetic dude. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna bring a lot of juice and fire to the defense as well. But he's definitely taking some great steps. I'm excited to play with him. Yeah.
Thank you, Earl. I appreciate your time.